Have you noticed how Sofia Vergara at 51 looks more stunning than many 30-year-old women? Or how Helen Mirren in her 70s had a more powerful presence than certain celebrities in their 40s? The biological clock is relentless for all of us, but some women seem to defy time while others, well, they plummet before they even reach 40. Here on the lucrative Elegance channel, I, Carol, discovered something fascinating. 70% of visible aging is not related to your genes, but to your daily habits. This means you have much more control over how you will age than you imagine. If you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel now, activate the bell, and leave your like if you want to discover how to transform your elegance into something lucrative for your life. I've always observed women around me and noticed an undeniable pattern. Those who age gracefully follow certain principles that I'll share with you today. They aren't hidden secrets, but habits that most women completely ignore, preferring the easy path that leads to accelerated aging. Have you noticed how certain 50-year-old women enter a room and immediately command attention and respect? They weren't born this way. They built themselves. While others of the same age seem tired and defeated by life, these women maintain a presence that cannot be ignored. And it all begins with understanding the difference between conscious self-care and neglect. The invisible factor of aging that nobody mentions. Jennifer Aniston recently said something that changed my perspective. The moment you stop prioritizing your well-being, the world also stops noticing you. Many women think that personal care is superficial or selfish, a luxury they cannot afford. Something only vain women do. This is exactly the thinking that transforms women into dull versions of themselves before they even reach 50. When I saw a Stanford University study on identical twins, I was impressed by the dramatic differences in their appearances as they aged, based simply on their daily lifestyle choices. One of the twins looked 10 years younger than the other. Same genes, completely different results. Why? Because without resistance, without constant challenge, without consistent care, the female body begins to deteriorate more quickly. And something similar happens when we opt for convenience instead of discipline. The first element that separates expensive wines from box juices is so obvious that most women completely ignore it: rigorous nutrition. The food industry spends billions to convince us that processed foods are convenient and acceptable. The inconvenient truth? These foods are programming your body to age at an accelerated speed. I struggled with yo-yo weight for years, until I understood that the issue wasn't just weight, but what was happening internally. The inflammation caused by refined sugars, hydrogenated oils, and processed carbohydrates isn't just an aesthetic problem. It literally rewrites your DNA through a process called glycation. When proteins or lipids come into contact with sugars, they create compounds called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. The name is appropriate. They literally age you. These compounds damage collagen and elastin, the proteins responsible for skin firmness and elasticity. The result? Premature wrinkles, sagging, and that tired look we see in so many modern women. Women like Jane Fonda don't maintain a youthful and vigorous appearance by chance or just through surgeries. Their diet is built around lean proteins, healthy fats, and vegetables, foods that combat inflammation instead of causing it. And no, I'm not talking about fad diets. I'm talking about tested nutritional principles that successful women follow consistently, even when dining at expensive restaurants or traveling. There's a reason why Salma Hayek still dazzles at 57, and it's not just genetics. Women who age like expensive wine understand that each meal is a decision. You're either investing in your future appearance or accepting premature deterioration. There is no middle ground. The true distinction between women who radiate elegance with age and those who just seem tired is often found in the early hours of the day, long before the rest of the world wakes up. The morning ritual of women who command respect. A study revealed something surprising. 89% of high-level female executives wake up before 6 a.m. Coincidence? Hardly. The most impressive women I know have something in common: a non-negotiable morning routine that includes movement, personal development, and body care. When your body stays still for too long, it begins to fold in on itself. Posture deteriorates, muscles weaken, mental attitude follows the same path. That's why I started exercising with a personal trainer. Not because I love physical activity, honestly I hate it, but because I understand that morning movement triggers the release of essential hormones to maintain a youthful physique and a vibrant presence. Morning exercise isn't just about muscles, it's about vitality. After movement, I dedicate time to my mind. Whether reading, planning, or learning something new, I strengthen my mental clarity before the demands of the day begin to compete for my attention. Finally, I invest in my presentation. It's not vanity, it's strategy. A woman who masters the art of self-care communicates to the world that she has resources, discipline, and attention to detail. These are qualities that inspire professional confidence, social admiration, and respect in all areas of life. Compare this with the average woman who wakes up at the last possible minute, skips breakfast, or grabs something unhealthy on the way to work, and is lucky if she finds time for a basic care routine. Is it really surprising that this woman looks tired and aged before her time? Consistency in these morning rituals not only preserves your youth, it amplifies your presence. And presence is the most valuable currency an elegant woman can possess. The forgotten art of power posture. I've observed thousands of women at social and professional events. The difference between a woman who commands respect and one who goes unnoticed often comes down to one thing: how she carries her body. Posture is not just an aesthetic issue, it's a power statement. When you see Cate Blanchett entering a room, it's impossible not to notice the way she presents herself. Straight back, shoulders back, head held high, deliberate movement. It's magnetizing. There is a documented relationship between posture and hormone levels. A Harvard University study found that just 2 minutes in a power pose significantly improves your biochemistry. Your posture not only affects how others see you, but also literally alters your brain chemistry. Women who hunch over their phones, who sink into their chairs, or who walk dragging their feet are programming their bodies for accelerated aging and social invisibility. The deterioration of posture is one of the first visible signs of surrender to the aging process. That's why truly elegant women invest in strengthening postural muscles and remain conscious of how they carry their bodies even when no one is looking. Because the truth is, someone is always watching and forming impressions. The investment in appearance that average women avoid. There is a clear difference between a dressed woman and a well-dressed woman. And no, it's not a question of money. I've seen women with extremely expensive clothes who look completely unremarkable, and women with modest resources who look extraordinary. I myself am not rich, although I'd love to be, but I understand that clothing is not just fabric, it's language. The clothes you choose communicate your attention to detail, your respect for yourself and others, and your understanding of social context. Women who age prematurely tend to make one of two wrong choices. Either they cling to styles from their youth, looking ridiculously outdated, or they simply give up and opt for the path of least resistance, usually shapeless clothes, dull colors, and the terrible uniform of giving up. Women who age with dignity understand that style should evolve with age, but never be abandoned. They invest in classic pieces that enhance their current physique, not the body they had at 20 or the body they wish to have after losing a few pounds. A vulgar woman will never be elegant, regardless of age. That's why I value delicacy and femininity so much. They are qualities that improve with time when properly cultivated. Care for hair, skin, and even nails is not optional for women who wish to command respect. A well-executed haircut can make a 50-year-old woman look vigorous and respectable, while a neglected style can make even a 30-year-old look sloppy and unreliable. The question is, are your style choices aligned with the best version of who you are today, or are they a reflection of laziness or attachment to the past? The secret of the 7% of women who never look old. A fascinating study followed women from ages 35 to 75 to determine which factors contributed most to the perception of vitality and authority with advancing age. The result? Approximately 7% of women managed to maintain or even increase their perceived presence and vitality over 4 decades. These women shared a crucial characteristic: continuous intellectual curiosity. While most women stop learning new skills after 40, this select group continued acquiring knowledge and developing new capabilities. Whether learning a new language, musical instrument, or simply staying informed about advances in their areas of interest, these women kept their minds sharp and relevant. Personally, I discovered that keeping the mind active with new learning and intellectual challenges not only enriches my life, but also reflects in my appearance and energy. When we keep ourselves mentally stimulated, the entire body responds positively. Neuroscientists have discovered that continuous learning not only preserves cognitive function, but also has cascade effects throughout the body, from posture to skin quality and the brightness of the eyes. Mental vitality translates directly into physical vitality. Women who close themselves intellectually, who stop growing and learning, literally begin to wither, first mentally, then physically. It's as if the body follows the brain's example. The neural connections formed during the learning of new skills stimulate the production of proteins that some scientists call fertilizer for the brain. Elevated levels of these proteins are associated not only with brain health, but also with longevity and resistance to stress. Women who maintain this intellectual curiosity are simply more interesting. They have something to contribute to conversations. They ask insightful questions. They connect ideas in surprising ways. And this quality is magnetic, both professionally and in personal relationships. Ask yourself, are you more curious today than you were 5 years ago, or are you just recycling the same ideas and convictions? The devastating impact of chronic stress. Let me be absolutely clear. Stress is literally sculpting your face. When we study women who age exceptionally well versus those who appear worn down by life, one of the most striking differences is their relationship with stress. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is a powerful corrosive when present at elevated levels for long periods. It degrades collagen, causing wrinkles, interrupts restorative sleep, accelerating aging, unbalances hormones, affecting mood and metabolism, and even changes fat distribution in your body, favoring accumulation in the least desirable places. Women who age elegantly don't avoid stress. They manage it strategically. They understand that acute stress can be beneficial, but chronic stress is a youth killer. These women develop deliberate practices to process and release stress, whether through exercise, breathing techniques, prioritized sleep, or strategic periods of complete digital disconnection. A critical mistake I repeatedly see in women is believing that endless scrolling on social media, series marathons, or digital procrastination are effective ways to relax. In fact, these strategies often increase cortisol levels in the long term, accelerating aging. Look at any woman who maintains a powerful presence beyond 50, and you'll find someone who proactively manages her stress, not someone who succumbs to it or tries to simply mask it. The choice that defines your aging path. Here's the inconvenient truth that no one is willing to say. The path to aging like an expensive wine is significantly harder in the short term. It requires sacrifice, discipline, planned discomfort, investment of time, energy, and yes, money. The path to becoming box juice? It's easy, convenient, comfortable. It only requires that you follow the path of least resistance, day after day. The choice between these two destinations is not made once, but hundreds of times daily. Each meal, each hour of sleep, each exercise session, each social interaction, each decision about how you spend your free time. Women who consistently choose the harder path, the one that demands more from them, are rewarded with longevity, vitality, respect, and influence that expand with age. Those who regularly choose convenience, comfort, and the easy path discover that their relevance, influence, and vitality steadily diminish, often beginning long before 40. And this brings me to the central question. What kind of woman do you choose to be? The one who becomes more valuable, respected, and magnetizing with age, or the one who peaks early and spends the rest of her life in a slow and imperceptible decline? If you're committed to aging like an expensive wine, gaining wisdom, character, and presence with each passing year, then you need to understand the complete system that makes this possible. Become a woman who improves with time. Aging well is not an accident or a genetic blessing. It's a science, a practice, a deliberate choice. The women I've met who age exceptionally well follow an integrated system of practices that work in synergy. They don't just eat well or exercise. They cultivate a life designed to extract the maximum from each phase of their journey. The good news, this system can be learned, implemented, mastered, and it doesn't matter your current age. It doesn't matter how committed you are to habits that accelerate aging. The female body has an incredible capacity for recovery when you begin to treat it with the respect it deserves. Every 7 to 10 years, you literally become a new person as your cells are replaced. The question is, are you programming this new version of yourself to be stronger, more vital, and more impressive? Or are you allowing deterioration to set in by default? Choose to be the type of woman who generates interest and respect just by entering a room. The type of woman who ages not only with grace, but with a presence that expands and intensifies over time. Be the expensive wine, not the boxed juice. If you want to learn more about how to travel with elegance and sophistication, be sure to check out my ebook, Be Elegant When Traveling: Global Etiquette for the Sophisticated Traveler. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If you want to continue learning about elegance and how to transform it into something lucrative for your life, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to be notified whenever I publish a new video. Now, I want you to leave in the comments expensive wine if this video resonated with you and if you're committed to being a woman who improves with age. I'm Carol, and at Lucrative Elegance, we transform elegance into power and prosperity.